Welcome to our call for tonight. This is technically a new coach call, but like I said, this is like such a call for old timers as well as new. I've been doing a lot of just research and have gotten just a lot of great information. I'm hoping to pass it on to you. I have all of you guys muted right now. So if you have like a question or something, just comment in the chat and I'd be happy to answer. So we're going to be talking about your daily fours. And this is something that Jen Delvaux was talking about on the Team Hardcore call from last week. And it really is, I was like, that's genius. That's awesome. And you'll see, you're like, man, this is a lot of what we're doing. But just present it in the way that it's presented. I think that it's really effective and really important. And I've been doing it myself, and I'm already seeing the benefits of it. And I've created a system, a duplicatable system that you can use yourself so that there's no real thought work. You're just getting in, getting it done, and getting out. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is this quote by Jim Rohn. He says, don't mistake movements for achievement. It's easy to get faked out by being busy. The question is, busy doing what? And my first year and a half in the business, I was a busy coach. I was spending all this time and I was spinning my wheels and I was hitting Success Club, but then it started to get to a point where I wasn't hitting Success Club anymore. And I went to Daphne and I'm like, Daphne, I don't know what I'm doing. Daphne's our upline Star Diamond coach. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, what do I need to change? And I sent her a mile-long list of everything that I do. And she sent it to Christine Dwyer, who's like our upline coach, who is like the owner of the largest coaching organization in Beachbody Platinum Presenters. And Christine responded back and she's like, she is doing a lot, but she's not focusing on what's important. And so I was essentially just spinning my wheels. And since then, I've been very focused on the most important activities. And it's fascinating because where 80% of my time would go to things like training for coaches and, editing my blog and designing graphics, and then 20% would be connecting with people. Now, 80% of my time is connecting, and then with what's time is left, that little 20% gets devoted to, miscellaneous projects. But you can get really hung up in projects. And so wanted to share with you the daily fours. I've shared this on our team page, so this probably looks super familiar to you. It's a document that I created to help you track your progress. So like I have mine filled in, and you just write the names as you're doing it. And just looking at it like, how cool would it be to see this all completely filled in for the whole week, right? How super cool would that be? And maybe that's a goal that you have for yourself, is to fill it in for the week. And like yesterday, I did yesterday, but then I started to fill in with any extras that I happen to do. I put it on Sunday. So I'm like, yeah, Sunday I'm taking off. So just something to maybe think about and shoot for. And the other cool thing about this document, which we'll talk about later, is if you're struggling in your business, you can send this to me and we can see what's going on, and I'll talk about that more later. But these are really the vital behaviors to push your business forward. If you're truly about, hey, I want to make a business out of this, then getting this in every single day is important. And it doesn't take that much time. It truly does not. All right, so the first category is self-care. And this is a lot of the put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you, put it on your kids, right? They tell you that on the airplane. You got to care for yourself first. This was another one of the issues that I have struggled with in the business is like, I'll take my Annie and get ready to work out, but then a coach needs my help. And so then I'm sitting on my computer and I'll record videos for them and I'll write big things for them and create a document for them, and I'll skip my workout. Or actually, this is like a great example, and this is just to show I'm a work in progress. Like today, I decided, okay, I really was working on this call and I was pouring my heart into it. I didn't really plan in advance for dinner, so we ran to Taco Bell tonight. Now, I chose fixed-friendly foods at Taco Bell, but I mean, who knows if their chicken is really chicken, right? I was kind of putting the needs of the team before my own when I really should have taken care of myself. I could whip up a Shakeology for myself. The world will not end. So you got to really focus on yourself. So Shakeology. getting in your workouts. And I say this with so much passion, personal development. Your enthusiasm in this business is hinging upon personal development and you checking in with your daily behaviors. It's true. And when coaches struggle, it's because they've stopped personal development. So you want to make sure that you get that in. A couple things, I love listening to coach videos. Like today I was folding laundry and I was listening to coach videos. I'll listen to a podcast while I'm driving out and about in the car. I wake up, I'm lying. I don't wake up early to read. As my son's going down for a nap, I'll like read. Or in the morning, we walk to the park and I'll read like a book. You know, I squeeze mine in into like tiny pockets of the day. I don't like listen to something at like a long stretch. I just kind of play it when I can. And it really helps me. I notice if I'm tired and I don't feel like working, I'll play some personal development and it'll jazz me up. So it really does help you and keeps you energetic. So that's the first thing in that self-care category. The next category is your social media posts. And again, I'm creating a system for you so that it's easy for you to know day in and day out exactly what to do as you're posting to social media. So I broke it down into 4 categories. So the first category is sharing a vital behavior of some sort. So if you got your workout in for the day, share it. If you drink Shakeology that day, share it. If you're reading something cool in personal development that's really uplifting, share it. Whatever it is, share a post that encompasses that vital behavior. Another type of post to do every day is coach life in one way or another. And I shared this on the team page today, is a lot of people feel like they can't share their coach life until they have success. And it was really cool. I was listening to a call with Bonnie Engel, and she's like, a lot of people think that, but it's often harder when you are successful as a coach because it's harder for people to relate to that because they feel like it's this unattainable thing. So right now you're actually in a prime spot. And I shared this post on the top right today, and it's gotten amazing traction from people where I shared, like, this is my vision. This is why I'm sitting down at this computer every day. I am going to pay off my student loans. I am going to do this. And I always felt hopeless, and now I have hope. And so I'm kind of sharing that part of my story. So don't be afraid to share what you're working towards, because in my experience, you'll find you have a whole community who is surrounding you. And the coolest thing is they're following you and they're going to watch you crush that goal. So share little pieces. It might be, oh, hey, I'm working at the park today. It's so cool that I can, go out and have this flexibility. Or, hey, squeezing my work in at lunch break because I got some big goals, or whatever, like those little bits and pieces of things that you can share every day about the coach life. And I recommend following Bonnie Engel. She has a great way of sharing every single day about coaching without it being like throwing up Beachbody all over Facebook. So Bonnie, E-N-G-L-E, I believe is how she spells her name. So share just a little bit. Doesn't have to be obnoxious. It doesn't have to be join my team. It's just like, hey, doing something cool today. Or, hey, I got to pay for ballet shoes for my daughter today. Thank you, Beachbody. Super simple things. The third thing is to share a piece of your life in some way. So the simple question is, what's happening right now? So today I was like, laying in bed. It was time for a social media post. And I'm like, what's happening right now? Well, I'm laying in bed. I laid down for a nap and I can't get myself up. So I'm like, snap. And that was a post. And, it doesn't have to be overthought. And you don't have to post your kids if you don't feel like it. Just share a little bit of your daily life. I like to think of it with all of these posts, you're sharing pages of a story with people. So rather than throwing up a story all at once at someone, they're getting page after page and they're interested and they're watching you. Another thing that I like to do in my posts is I just make them conversational. So it'll be like, does this recipe look tasty to you guys? Or in the top left, I think I said, do you have any workout crashers? Because my son likes to crash my workout. Or the bottom left, it's like, anyone guess what I'm doing? And you're chatting with people and you're talking back and forth with them. It's just conversational. So the bottom right is adding value in some way, whether it be a tip that you learned, whether it be a recipe. And it doesn't have to be fitness related, right? It could be like, oh my goodness, I'm using this app right now and it is so awesome. Like it's saving me so much time. Or, hey, I found this house cleaning checklist that's super awesome. So those are just some suggestions to have, but at the very least, this is a great formula to follow every day. Oh, and another way to add value, share motivational quotes that you come across in your personal development. Super simple, 4 posts a day. My nose, it's just so bad right now, you guys. It's crazy. All right. Next up, it's driving me nuts. Next up, new contacts. So this used to be one of my biggest struggles, and I think it's something that slowed my business down significantly because I was like, oh, someone signed up for my mailing list. That's a new contact, when like 80% of the people who sign up for my mailing list are people who are Beachbody coaches. So that's not an effective way to measure who's a new contact. So what I started to do is this mutual friend thing. Let me talk about it for just a second, because when I first heard about this, I was like, that's weird. Here's why I thought it was weird. And I want to talk to you in case you're one of those people. Because I've heard so many coaches say, use the people you may know tool. I'm like, that's so weird. Okay, so let's say Carissa is my friend, and I see that she and I have a mutual friend, and I send them a message. So I'm like, hey, I see we have a mutual friend. That's Carissa. Thought I'd get to know you better. And then in my head, I see them going to Carissa and being like, who the crap is this person that's messaging me? Right? You guys thinking that? That's exactly what they would do. That's what I would do. I'm like, why is this fool messaging me? Seriously? But if it's 5 or more people that you have mutual friends, so if you see here, well, there's a missionary because I'm LDS, but there's like Brooke Stokes and Joan, these people, they say, oh, you have 10 or more mutual friends. Well, I send them a friend request. On their end, they're like, hey, I must know this girl because we have like a ton of mutual friends. So they'll add me, right? And then I send them a message and I say, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. Your name popped up as someone I might know, and it, because we have a ton of mutual friends. And I figure, hey, it's always cool to meet someone new. So, tell me more about you. And I make some comment about like their profile photo. So if like today there was someone where there was a graduation photo, I was like, is that your graduation photo or is that a kid or what? And it has been amazing for me to have these conversations and get to know people. So don't be afraid to do that. I personally do 20 a day. And it takes less than a minute. Today, while we were waiting in the drive-thru, I just went boom, 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 and sent them out, and they were done. So that's an easy way to grow your contact list. And you can focus on like one social group at a time, right? And then it just kind of grows and snowballs from there. Top right is Facebook ads. So if you have a like page, this is a fantastic way to attract business. And it's really simple. I shared this post in our team, but it was just my challenge group promotion. It was very simple. It took me 5 minutes to do, and I just selected boost. I'm very overwhelmed by the whole Facebook ads thing. So I just boost my posts, and I have a lot of success doing it. I recommend you pick a target audience, which it'll ask you when you say you want to boost it. It'll ask about your target audience. And I just enter in things about me and my brand. So think about your brand. So I'm a mom of grade school kids, so I'll put that in there. I'm passionate about organization, so I put that in there. I love healthy eating, so I'll put that in there. I also like to adjust the economic. You can pick like an economic bracket. So I like to pick one where they have a little bit more money, where it's, I forget how much I say, like over 50,000 or something like that, because, if they're making $10,000 a year, they probably can't afford Shakeology or something like that. So that's one suggestion, is just to kind of like cater it and make it people only in the US. And you're going to tweak your audience over time. I found that I was getting certain people all the time, and I'm like, whoa, these people are so not like my brand, like who I would be attracted to. So I knew I needed to go in and tweak it. Apparently, and I haven't done this, apparently you can say like not Beachbody, like people who are not Beachbody, which is a good idea. That way you're not paying for your stuff to be shown in other coaches' feeds. I thought that was a good idea, because you guys have probably seen sponsored ads by other coaches. So I haven't tried that, but that's just a thought. Don't overthink it. It takes just a couple minutes. And already, let's see, I put that up yesterday. I spent $30, and I believe I've got close to 20 people asking about my challenge group. Not all those people will pan out. You will find they get excited and then they like get distracted. They're like squirrel, and they go off somewhere else. But you'll get some good, you'll get a couple out of that. I mean, think about it. I spent $30. If just one of those 20 people get a challenge pack, that's worth it, right? That's paid me back. So definitely try it, and also realize that it's going to take just trial and error, and don't be upset if the first time you don't get as much. You can always pause it. So if a couple hours have passed and you haven't gotten it, you can pause it, and then it'll, no, I don't care if you use this concept. Are you talking about this, Carissa? Sorry, that just showed up. You probably said it like forever ago. Anyway, like, yeah, just, you can pause the ad, it'll stop, and then you can try something new if you find it's not working, like a couple hours into it. I recommend Facebook, instead of saying like $1 a day, Facebook actually gives you better traction if you throw them a bunch of money in a short period of time. And a bunch can be like 20 bucks in a day or something like that. But $1 a day, they don't give you as much traction. I used to do $1 a day for 7 days. I get way more with a short period. Okay, next up, another method for new contacts. And I'm going to be honest, I only do the 2 at the top. The 2 at the bottom, I'm just sharing with you so that if the others don't sound like your thing, here's another one. Instagram, follow a hashtag. And, you know, you could type into Instagram and say hashtag, blah, blah, blah. I only recommend doing this if you are active on Instagram, right? And I also don't recommend it. This is my take. I don't necessarily recommend doing fitness hashtags because you're just going to run into coaches, or people at other companies. Like, I love bullet journaling. So if I do this, I look up bullet journaling. But if you do that, you got to make sure that you have content on your Instagram account that's bullet journaling or whatever you're looking up, because you know, you're trying to attract them to you. So you look at people, you look at their account. Is this someone who I would want on my team? Not, is this someone who would buy from me? I don't want you to think about it like that. I want your recruiting now. You got to have the recruiting mindset. Is this someone who I would want on my team? Do they look like someone who's similar to me in interests and in personalities? If so, the formula I hear a lot of coaches say is like 5 posts on their page, comment on like 3, and ask a question on 1. So here's the deal. If you're on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about here. Instagram has like, there's these tools that you can do, and Instagrass is one of them. You can like comment, you can have this like third-party computer software comment on people's posts without you doing it. If you say like, I want you to comment on 30 posts that have the hashtag FitMom, it'll go and do it, and you can tell it what to say. Great photo, thumbs up, heart. And it's infuriating to be an Instagram person because you're like, I don't know if this person is real or if a computer is giving me a thumbs up. I don't want to waste my time talking to this person. So I personally only respond to people where I'm like, okay, this person doesn't feel like a computer, right? Because I'll post like a sad photo and someone's like, great photo. And I'm like, thank you, computer. So that's just my theory on it. So think about that. And yeah, Carissa, totally use the ad. I put that in the team page yesterday, I believe, and you're more than welcome to use it. Just a tip, with anything, of course, never use the exact wording, not only for, you know, ethical reasons, but Facebook will actually detect if you're just copying and pasting and will limit both my visibility of my post and yours. But I know you wouldn't do that. All right, engage in groups is another one. So if you have a topic you're really passionate about, find a Facebook group and connect in there. Now, you are not talking about Beachbody, right? You are just building relationships. You're, after a couple conversations back and forth in a group, you're befriending them. So maybe you're into dogs, maybe you're into bicycling. Pick a couple things that you're interested in and engage that way. I know Wendy Jo Spencer, who's an elite coach, she says she's got 10 groups, and just every day during her power hour, she checks into those. That's quite a bit. But you know, you might pick 1 or 2 to really like focus on if you want. But I gotta say, honestly, you guys, I have the top 2 and I'm a busy bee right now. So I personally recommend the top 2. All right, next up is connecting. So that's next on your list. So you went in for the day, you filled in your new contacts, right? And then next, and you know, I should rewind and say, I don't consider them a new contact until they've accepted a friend request, okay? That's when they're a new contact, not when I send out 20 friend requests. So they accept it, I send a message like what I was telling you about, and I get to know them. So then the next step is connecting. You want to connect with 4 people a day. And by connecting, that's initiating a conversation. So not continuing conversations with, you know, maybe people who accepted your friend request, but initiating a new one, okay? So here's a couple places I go to start a conversation. First of all, I look at who has commented or liked a post that I have had. So today someone liked a fitness post I had, so I sent them a message. I'm like, thank you so much for liking that post. You know, it's hard to put myself out there sometimes. I just want to tell you thank you. That meant a lot to me. How are things going with you? And it's cool, especially on the workout posts. It's really cool because they'll write back and they're like, oh, your posts are so inspiring. And then it starts a fitness conversation. So it's very natural, and it cuts us right to the chase where we can talk about their fitness goals. The other things are just like, if I get advice on something, I'll message that person privately and say, hey, thanks for that advice. So that's why it's really nice to have engaging posts, because then you can message them privately and talk about it in a little more detail. So private message when you're doing this, okay? On both your like page and your personal page. On your like page, without being someone's friend, you can send them a message. If you click, you'll know what I'm talking about if you have a like page. If you click message next to where reply is, it'll send them a message and it will show the post that you were referring to, which I think is really helpful. Next up is I look at whoever's birthday it is today. And I send them a message and I just say, hey, happy birthday. Do you have any fun plans today? And then after they respond, then I will ask, like, so how are things going in general? You know, we haven't chatted in a bit. What's going on? And then we restart that conversation. So that's a really easy way to start a conversation. Next up. Okay, so if I still haven't hit my 4, right? If I still haven't hit my 4, then I look at my list. And if you're not working from a list, you really need to work from a list. Now, I use Streak, and you don't need to do this until you're further in, but it saves me so much time. I use Streak, which lets me sort and filter things. So I say, all right, I want to see everyone who I haven't talked to in 7 days or more. And here's what I do, you guys. I sorted by most recent. Here's the reason why. I don't want to be talking to someone from 3 months ago. My goal right now is to focus on the people in the now. So if I haven't talked to someone in 7 days, I want to be reigniting those conversations, okay? And I want to keep going. So I'm going to restart the conversation. I might respond to something on their page. So I'll immediately go to their page. Oh, someone just graduated. Like, I'd say, hey, congratulations on your kid graduating from high school. So does it mean you're an empty nester now? And restart the conversation. Another thing I might do is ask another question about them. Like, oh, by the way, I did see that you went to Lincoln High School. Like, I'm from Lincoln. How do you like the area? Or one of my favorites is ask them for advice and be genuine, right? Like today I was curious about a skincare product. So I wrote someone who works for a skincare company. I asked her, some questions. So those are some ways to re-engage with that person if it's been, like 7 days or more, right? If they've ignored the last several messages, right? We hate that, crickets. What I recommend doing is like and comment on a recent post of theirs. Just mark today as the last contact in your tracking tool. Don't count it here. Just track it so you connected with them. And then a week from now, do the same thing again. Maybe do it a couple times. And if after a couple times you message them about something and they're still ignoring you, just move them to another list, right? Don't keep chasing after people that don't want you. It's a waste of your time. All right, so what you're doing is you're gonna keep talking with these people. You're gonna try to do everything you can to keep these conversations alive and connect with them and get to know with them until they are invite ready. So what does it mean to be invite ready? It means that you've reached the F, O, and R steps of form. Now in my contact list on Streak, I'm tracking this. So let me show you what it is. So do you know their family? Do you know what they do for a living? What's their occupation? And then for recreation, what do they do in their spare time? How do they, what are their hobbies? And I literally have in Streak, family, 2 daughters, occupation, teacher at a school, recreation, loves to read. And once I see that I've got those 3 things, let's say those 7 days have passed since I've talked to them and it shows, oh, today's the day, to message this person. It's been 7 days. If I have F, O, and R, it's like, all right, they're ready. They're ready for this message. We have connected enough to build a little bit of that trust. Here's other ways that you know who to invite. Have they mentioned fitness or needing financial security to you now or in the past? If so, they might be ready to hear from you. Do you think they would be a great in a challenge group or as a coach? Again, I'd wait till you get that FOR part of form. And did they respond to an invite post? So if you posted yesterday about, you're looking for a couple of people to join your challenge group or to join your team, did they respond to that? And of course, they are like the easy ones, right, to message. So this is a good checklist for you to go to on who am I going to invite today? And looking at this, it's much faster and easier to send out an invite. So with your invites, keep it simple, keep it personal. So I recommend each day invite 3 to an upcoming challenge group and 1 to the business opportunity. And I want to share with you a simple formula that you can use to send out an invite. First, start with their name. Make sure that they know this wasn't copied and pasted, right? And as you do that, connect with them about life. So it might be, hey, Carissa, I saw that your son just got out of school. Are you guys enjoying being at home right now? Are you busy with sports? And then you have the invite. By the way, I was thinking about you now that school's out. I actually have a fitness challenge starting. Would you be interested in joining the group? I think it would, and the next step, why they would benefit. I think it would be fun because it's a great opportunity for us to connect together as we're all like bunkered down in our homes over the summer. Next is the invite question. My favorite one to do is, if I sent you more information on this, would you check it out? I find you're kind of a jerk if you say no to that kind of worded it that way, right? I feel like it's kind of, I don't know. I just find my friends can't say no to me that way. Then the last question is follow up with another question about life. Hey, I hope you're also getting in some alone time, right? So this formula, it's not a 20-page long paragraph. You guys, I know you've gotten this. I know you've had a friend who signed up for some kind of multi-level marketing company, and you've gotten like a 20-page Facebook message inviting you to a group that was clearly copied and pasted, not personal at all. And what do? Delete, and you just move on with your day, right? This one, it's hard for them to not, connect with that, okay? So give them an opportunity to respond, and above all, be authentic. I mean, I know our team is in this to help people because we're caring people. So I know you'll be authentic, but I just wanted to say it again. You're being authentic here. You're truly caring about, is Carissa home? Is she bunkered down? Is she, have a crazy summer schedule? Is she happy sports are potentially over? They're not over. Are they over? She's like doing this. She's like a bobblehead. 2 weeks. So she's close. All right. So these are more examples. Hey, how are things going with blah, blah, blah? By the way, have you ever considered doing what I do? I think you'd be great at it because blah, blah, blah. If I sent you info on it, would you check it out? And how are you the kids enjoying summer break? So Bonnie Engel was talking about this, and she's like, a lot of people overcomplicate the invites. Just say, hey, girl, have you ever considered doing what I do? Just leave it at that. So you could do it that way. You could do formula, you could do simple, play it by ear based on the person. Or, hey, I saw your post about, whatever, like graduation. I keep using that as an example. That's great. By the way, when are you going to join one of my fitness challenge groups on Facebook? I think we have fun in there. My friend responded to me, by the way, last week, and she's like, I'm doing my own 21-day challenge, and she shared a photo of a burger and fries. It was kind of funny. Anyway, I was like, are you cool if I send you some info on it? And hey, how was blah, blah, blah. Now, you guys, this is how I talk, right? If you talk to me, you know that I talk like I'm still stuck in the 90s. So, like, this is me, but you might word it a little differently. But have something kind of in place for you. And don't overthink it. All right, invites. Avoid inviting the same people incessantly. That's one of the biggest issues that I see coaches do is they feel like they're just harassing the same person over and over again. If you are, you're doing it wrong. So here's what I do. So after I've sent out that invite, right? Then what I do is I alternate a couple times between connections and invites. So what I personally do is I invite, and I'm tracking this, right? And then like 7 days later, I connect again. Same formula as the other thing. 7 days later, I connect again, and then I invite again. And then I do that process all over again. And if by that point they're saying no, then I'm moving on. And I might revisit them a couple months down the road, but I am done. I'm not going to harass a bunch of times because now it's just not the right time. Maybe they're busy with sports, or maybe they're just not in a place for that. So I move on. All right. I don't keep going. All right. So the other thing is grow your contact list. If you feel like you're harassing the same people and over again, then you probably haven't been growing your contact list effectively. So keep growing that as much as possible. All right. So follow-ups is the next one on here, okay? So the next kind of bubble that you're filling in is follow-ups. So here's the system that I like to use that's very just easy and straightforward. Haven't heard from them in 2 days, and they were interested in coaching, challenge group, free group, Shakeology, whatever. I just say, hey, just checking in. You expressed interest in my blank because you wanted to blank. Did you have any questions about that information I sent you? All right. Then if 2 more days happen and I still haven't heard back from them, I send them this. It's my final follow-up. Hey, I've been saving a spot for you in blank. Were you still planning on joining? If so, what questions do you still have? I will have to give up that spot I'm holding soon, so I wanted to give you a heads up and get you started. By the way, how are things going with blah, 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 blah. I do the last part because they might feel like now's not the right time, and I just want them to really, really know I care about them as a friend. So it's cool if it's just not the right time. Okay, so just have that final follow-up, and then what I do is I just move them to that list as if someone had said no to an invite, right? So like I just told you on the last page, I might connect with them a couple times, invite again, connect a couple times, and invite a last time, all right? That's just the system I created so that I didn't have to think about things. I'm less scared about invites, and I'm not harassing people a bunch. I'm making sure I'm adding value to people. Some final thoughts. So I want to challenge you to do this for several weeks. I even say 8 weeks. If like 8 weeks happen and there's like no progress whatsoever, you have not gotten a challenger, you've not gotten a coach, you absolutely need to contact your coach and say what's going on. And if your coach isn't available, contact me and say, okay, I need some help, and we'll look through this. But I want you to commit to doing this, filling this in as best as you can, depending on your business goals, right? So for example, I keep using Chris as an example tonight, but like Chris is based on her particular goals, she would want to do 4 days worth of this power hour, right? Of the invite activities. The top row, of course, self-care, she needs to do that every day, but the rest of this, she committed to 4 days based on her particular goals. So if she does this, she's going to do this for, like 8 weeks or whatever. And if she's just not seeing results, you got to check in with your coach. The reason why is it might be something going on in your conversations, and it would probably help to have another set of eyes on your conversations to see what's going on. Okay, you could be doing all the like check off the box tasks, but there might be something happening in those conversations that we could easily tweak, and then all of a sudden you'll see some changes. Commit to being consistent. So whatever you pick, be consistent. Show up on the days that you plan to show up, right? So like if you plan on doing this 5 days a week or 6 days a week, commit to doing it and track it. So we have this in our team now where every day we check in with our vital behaviors. So at the end of the day, you can snap a photo of this, share it in our team page, and celebrate. Snap a post-workout selfie, snap a Shakeology selfie, whatever. You can share that you're doing it. And that's a great way to get some support and some kudos and also some feedback. If I see someone posting and I'm seeing that they're like not adding new context every day, then I'm going to probably message you and talk with you about it. So it's also a nice, easy way to get some feedback from people. So download this and get it set up for yourself. All right. Especially because tomorrow's a new, to be in Beachbody world, Thursday is always like the start of the business week. Okay. So now I'm going to unmute and open it up for questions. So, awesome. So let's talk about this. Or comments or questions? Janae, what did you think?
I thought it was great. But my concern for myself right now is that I'm connecting with people and I'm starting new conversations. It's getting easier, but I'm getting a little overwhelmed with keeping all these conversations going.
Gotcha. That would lead me to believe that you're not getting to the invite as fast as you probably could. Are you getting the FOR? Like, are you actively pushing for that?
On some, yeah. On the ones that are kind of standoffish, I'm really just easing into the conversation.
And honestly, sometimes, if someone's super standoffish, I'm kind of moving on. if they're truly giving the vibe they don't want to talk to me, I'm not going to force them to talk to me. So I just move them to a different list.
Well, one girl I was talking with, and she started off like that, and then all of a sudden she got really chatty. So I was like, okay, well.
Yeah, that totally happens. Yeah, I would say, I mean, I would pay attention, and perhaps with the time that you can commit to your business, perhaps you have to do fewer a day. But my inkling is that maybe to pay attention and see if you are really pushing the conversation. As soon as they talk about their daughter, like I might say, oh yeah, I've got a daughter too. Like, isn't that such a fun age? So, and then I'm moving right on to occupation. So I'll say like, so are you at home with your daughter or do you work? I try to immediately move it to the next step rather than talking about our daughter, because I could talk about mine all day.
Yeah, maybe that's hanging on too much to the yeah.
So you just move it forward, and like, I wish I could show you streak, but honestly, my ultimate goal is to connect, of course, like primary goal, connect. But it's to like move them through my pipeline. I want to get them through. I want to get them through all those invite steps and get them all the way at the end to where they're either in a challenge group or in that like last invite that I could revisit later. But I want to like push them through. I don't want them to linger in that form stage for a long time. I'm trying to get them through as fast as possible. And this is another thing I wanted to mention is when I would like have extra time in the business before, I'm like, let me design a website. Let me design a training, even though I only have 2 working coaches. Let me design this. Let me design that. If you have extra time in your business and you aren't diamond, do this all over again, right? Do a whole other column. Like if you've got minutes to spare, go to those connecting people lists and connect with 4 more. You know, and Mindy Wenders did that when she was like busting her tail for her business. She's like, I would do my power hour, and then if I had time, I would do it all over again, and I would do it all over again, and do it all over again, if you have time. Cool. Carissa, thoughts, questions?
So what if you already know the F, O, and R, right? So it's your warm market. Yeah. How do you keep those conversations going without, being awkward about the entire thing?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you need to grow your new contacts more.
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
So, but of your warm contacts, touch base a couple times about life, interact for maybe, 2 to 3 weeks. That every 7 days or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And the conversation has gone on for a couple of days. And then you can be like, by the way, I think you would love to be in this group, or I think you would love to join my team. Like, it'd be so cool to work with you. Just
even though the conversation hasn't really been about fitness or anything like that, it's just been about life in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll pick up on cues.
Because that's kind of where I get stuck, is in that conversation.
It's very, very hard. And you can always send me a conversation and I can give you feedback on where you could have inserted something or bring it up. But even if like a week's passed and I could say, which it's going to stop us in less than a minute, so sorry. But I could say like, hey, I've been thinking about you lately. I know you're busy with the kids, but I think that you would totally love blah, blah, blah. And would you love to do this? Whatever. That's a simple way to do it.
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm overthinking it.
Yes, don't overthink it. Just move them through and be caring as you do it, of course. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, that's all we got for tonight. But please, if anything comes up, you have any questions, please comment below. But please, 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 please share your daily 4s on our team page. I really want us to support each other right now as we do it. All right. Thanks for checking in, guys.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.